In this video, I want to show you the 4 different applications to a pentatonic scale, starting with one chord vamps, starting with C, and working our way out to more common chord progressions. So we'll begin with just the C major 7 here. So this is just a one chord C major vamp. It doesn't change, it's all C. So A minor pentatonic and C major pentatonic are the same notes. So now you can use the flat 5 in A minor, which is A flat, or E flat, sorry, and use that in this setting where the E flat note functions as the major blues note. So you can hear I'm using those 5 notes, C, D, E, G, A, and C here across the entire neck, giving you this really warm, sweet, major pentatonic type sound. Now, let's hear what this sounds like if we go to a minor chord. If I switch this to C minor 7, now we need to use C minor pentatonic over this. C minor pentatonic is the same thing as E flat major pentatonic. So starting here, starting from G, so now the blue note here would be G flat. Just minor pentatonic over a one chord minor chord has a completely different feel. You can hear how you have the root, the minor third, which is E flat in this case, F, which is the 11th or the 4th, and then G is the 5th, and then B flat is the flat 7th, and then back to the root again. And of course, if you choose to use the blue note, which is G flat, it gives you that chromatic passing tone. So I want you to hear how major pentatonic sounds on a dominant chord. So a dominant chord is a major chord with a flatted 7th. So in this case, if we do this over C, you're going to end up with a C, an E, a G, and a B flat. This is where it starts to get really interesting. So here's just a C7 chord. So this is just... So now check out major pentatonic over this. So again, C, D, E, G, A, and C. much like A minor pentatonic. That's how it feels. But of course, your resting notes is going to feel a lot different because we're playing over the C. You're going to want to rest on C, G, E. I naturally like to add the E flat in there, but you don't have to. But now to make this more interesting, what if we use the minor pentatonic scale over this? So for example, so now the minor pentatonic scale has a completely different set of intervals over the same chord. You end up with the root still, the E flat again, the 4th or the 11th, the G, the B flat, so that's the 5th, and the flat 7th. You can also use the G flat. Hard blues sort of sound. But now what if I play licks back to back, going major pentatonic to minor pentatonic? Check it out. So right there I did major, minor. Major, minor. So that's one level of going back and forth between major pentatonic to minor pentatonic. But now, what if we start using those two scales together? This is where you get that saxophone blues mixed pentatonic sound. You can tell where it really stands out where you're going back and forth between major pentatonic and minor pentatonic, and it's a really great sound. We hear so many guitar players do this, saxophone players, jazz, blues. That mixed pentatonic sound is so important. I have a bunch of exercises on my site that cover this that you can practice with. But now, instead of just one chord vamps, let's move over to maybe a more common chord progression. Maybe if we did something that goes in a major key setting, C major 7 to F major 7, or C major to F major. So this is a C chord, this is an F chord. F. So you can hear how major pentatonic here and now, even though there's no F note in the major pentatonic scale, it still completely works. Not only because it's in the key of C, but because there's notes in the F chord that are in the pentatonic scale. So you think C, D, E, G, A. Well, the E is definitely in an F chord. It's the major 7. The F is in, the A is in an F chord, and also the C, which is the 5th. So now you have C chord or F chord here. C chord. F. Even the major blues note works. sound, and you get that happy major pentatonic sound. Now, common chord progressions, a minor blues progression here. It's A minor. I snuck that F in there. We'll talk about that. It's an F chord, an E chord. But notice how in A minor blues, C major pentatonic, it's all the same notes. It outlines all the same exact thing. We probably want to rest more on A than we do on C in this setting. Final application here. The major pentatonic scale with the minor pentatonic scale in a blues setting is the key. It just turns up the heat, makes it sound so cool and musical. It's something you definitely want to learn. But you begin with just simply learning C major pentatonic, and A minor pentatonic, which of course are the same notes. And then you work your way out from there. You take the same 5 shapes, at least until you learn the fretboard and learn all the notes, and slowly add and build upon this so you can get the phrases that you want to get. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I wanted you to hear and see the different applications of the pentatonic scale. I have a whole bunch of exercises on my site that you can practice this stuff at 15 tempos. I have videos that you can practice along with me, gradually getting faster and faster. It's very beneficial for your playing. I'll put all the links to all these tracks down below, as well as links to the site. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you next time.